Welcome to Wild World News.
Wait. You telling me that there are people rushing the Capitol? Wow, this is crazy. All right, let's get it.
We continue to follow this breaking news, the chaos at the Capitol. The seat of government went on lockdown this afternoon with members of Congress inside as supporters of President Trump invaded and clashed with police. Legislators inside the House chamber told by police to put on gas masks after tear gas dispersed in the rotunda. Protesters also gathered outside the state capitol in Tallahassee, and in South Florida, demonstrators rode through the streets protesting the 2020 election results. A 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew has been ordered in our nation's capital as National Guard soldiers and federal police reinforcements are working at the Capitol right now to help with ending an occupation by a pro-Trump mob.
Within the past hour, we heard from President-elect Joe Biden. We will play that for you in just a moment. President Trump released a video statement about 45 minutes ago. It's been flagged by Twitter and cannot be responded to at this point, but we want to play it for you in its entirety right now.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It's a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
Hours before the president released that statement, this is video of his supporters breaking out a window in the Capitol. And listen to this next video. This is when some of the protesters clashed with police. Pull them this way!
Wow. 2021.
There you see, and we heard earlier from a news conference in Washington, D.C., that protesters were deploying chemical irritants against the police officers, though they came armed and ready for this fight. And you see it getting violent right there. Also, images now inside the chamber as Capitol officers point guns at the door. You can see where that window was broken out as protesters started to make their way inside.
Wow.
And outside the Capitol, a protester hanging from a wall and holding a pro-Trump flag. Amidst all of this, just within the past 30 minutes, the Associated Press called the Georgia Senate runoff race, declaring Jon Ossoff the winner. He was up against incumbent David Perdue. Ossoff will be the
These are some wild times we are living in. My God.
Back in 1973.
News4Jax has been on the air covering this extraordinary breaking news since early this afternoon around 1 p.m. when the Electoral College was meeting to vote. We begin with Tarek with comments from President-elect Joe Biden. Tarek?
We've learned that one person has been shot at the U.S. Capitol as dozens of supporters of President Trump stormed the building and violently clashed with the police. Sources are also telling us that police officers have been injured. At least one police officer has been taken to the hospital, and the D.C. police chief says protesters deployed chemical irritants on police in order to gain access inside the U.S. Capitol.
Wow.
Dozens of Trump supporters breached security perimeters. They entered the U.S. Capitol as Congress was meeting, expected to vote and affirm Joe Biden's presidential win. Now, in just the last hour, President-elect Joe Biden called on President Trump to go on national TV and ask his supporters to leave the Capitol and disperse.
But today's reminder, a painful one, that democracy is fragile, and to preserve it requires people of goodwill, leaders with the courage to stand up, who are devoted not to the pursuit of power, but or the personal interest pursuits of their own selfish interest at any cost.
Wow.
President Trump has directed the
Right in there with the rebel flag.
With other federal protective services and House and Senate leadership, they are all safe and in an undisclosed location. Joanne?
Tarek, thank you. Reaction to the chaos in Washington has been pouring in since early this afternoon. Ken Justice joining us now in the newsroom with comments from local and state lawmakers and new information about protests in Tallahassee. Ken?
Yeah, Joy, we are told that about 50 protesters took to the state capitol grounds. Members of the controversial group, the Proud Boys, they were present. And protesters held signs in support of President Trump as well. Some reading, "Stop the Steal." Lawmakers are not present in Tallahassee right now, but they're returning for their first round of committee meetings for the 2021 session next week. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis released a statement within just the last 20 minutes or so saying violence or rioting of any kind is unacceptable and the perpetrators must face the full weight of the law. The Capitol Police do an admirable job.
This
and
is
I thank
wild.
them for their hard work. He used to be a U.S. congressman. Right now, local Congressman John Rutherford, he issued a statement strongly condemning the invasion of the U.S. Capitol in Washington. Rutherford tweeted, "The lawlessness taking place here in our nation's capital is unacceptable and un-American. You cannot say you stand for law and order and then act this way. Pray for all our law enforcement as they secure our area or the area and keep us safe." Florida Senator Marco Rubio tweeted, "There is nothing patriotic about what's occurring on Capitol Hill. This is third world style anti-American anarchy." So far, we haven't heard of any protests over the presidential election tonight in Jacksonville, but we'll continue monitoring any developments from local lawmakers. We'll keep you posted throughout the night.
All right, Ken Justice, thank you. Unbelievable images. What's unfolding in Washington, D.C. keep coming into our newsroom.
Lauren Verno is joining us with more of those images as Trump supporters continue right now to occupy the Capitol building. Lauren?
They are just incredible, and you have to imagine these images are going to be in history textbooks one day. We're going to look back and look at these images.
Yeah.
So take a look at that right there. Inside the Capitol building, a Confederate flag, I should say. Those are just incredible images. So you're taking a look at the Speaker of the House. That is where the Speaker of the House will sit.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
The Capitol
I know some of y'all know
this is supposed to be one of
the
the most
history
secure
like
buildings
that.
in the entire, if not country, entire world. This is where some of our top leaders are. And to give you a perspective of how far into this, the Capitol building for these members and these protesters to get, this is very far in. If you've ever been inside the Capitol building, there are twists, there are turns. This is deep inside the building. So again, an American flag. This looks like to be in the House Speaker's office, chambers, I should say. So they're on the second floor balcony. That is not where the congressmen are. This image was just incredible to watch. A man hanging off.
It's crazy. I'm used to seeing this happening in other countries.
The House
People flipping out like this.
Again, so inside the chamber, you see a man sitting at the desk. Do we have this one sitting at the Speaker's desk, taking selfies, making phone calls? I apologize, that's the Senate. That is where the Vice President sits. Here's another man. That is where they're taking selfies. So take a look at this one. Here's another man walking through the Capitol with a podium. And if you read closely, that does say the Speaker of the House. That is what you see on
Dark
the podium.
Knight Rises.
So police are working to gain control of the building. This photo from inside the House chamber, guns drawn, protesters on the ground. Again, we are monitoring all the developments coming out of
machine
Washington,
guns on
D.C. We are going to bring them to you as soon as they come in.
Good Lord. I'm sure this is developing, y'all. 2020 was already stressful enough. Trying to get these videos out to you. This is wild. This is wild. I'm almost speechless. But at least he got on and said something. Hope no one gets killed or hurt. Someone already got shot. At least it wasn't a bunch of people getting shot. I'm going to continue to follow this and see what happens. Is the investigation over? You know what I mean? Has it been officially confirmed that Joe Biden is the president? Or, I mean, because he announced there that you're angry because we lost a landslide victory. It was stolen from us. So the verdict's in, or is it just it didn't go the way their investigation thought it was going to go, and he still believes that it was stolen? Like, I don't know. I haven't been following things over the past few days, going through what I'm going through, trying to get my main channel back up and running. So, but yeah, let me know. Let me know. And I think I'm going to start posting all the videos on my gaming and my backup channel, just so that most of y'all can, you know, see them. You know what I mean? And then when my main channel's back up, I can stop posting everything over here.